We asked Sarah to tell us her best ever story. The following conversation was filmed, and the story was reenacted by hungry thespians. This was the result.
The day my dad died was one of those days that, obviously day of was like, what the hell? My mom, she's a very perfectionist, kind of take charge woman. She essentially set up an entire palliative care ward in the main floor of our home because she was convinced that the hospital was just not doing anything right. So that was a little bit stressful, so I remember that day I woke up at 1 p.m. because I was 20 and I was giving zero fucks at that point. And I just had the worst case of the trots because having a palliative care ward in your home will kind of do that to you just because of the level of stress. So I remember I was just in the bathroom, doubled over, oh man, he just really needs to croak soon. This is getting tiring. Then I heard my mom shouting from downstairs guys, I think it's happening, we got it, it's go time. So my whole family just rushed into the living room. It was funny because my mom, she sounded like one of those auctioneer guys who's okay, his eyes are closing, all right, let's just close up, all right, let's put his arms up like this, Then he finally kind of conked off. And she's still going and going and going, and I'll take the blanket off. So she pulls the blanket, and his dick is out in his hand, and she's still talking. He would do that, wouldn't he? Oh my goodness gracious! So she just puts his dick back in there. It was just sort of that awkward, okay, now what? It was 2:30ish, and there's a bunch of little kids playing out in the yard, and we didn't want to call the coroner and then traumatize all the neighborhood kids by wheeling my dad's corpse out. So we kind of just had to keep him in the house for the whole day. We ended up just calling all of our extended family and a bunch of the friends. It was essentially an Irish wake where they all kind of brought beer and then we just kind of drank and hung out with the body. Yeah, that was different. And seating was sort of limited, so I kind of just had to scooch my dad's body over and kind of sit just on the edge like this. And at one point I had to get up, so I kind of leaned, but I pushed on his body and then he burst, which was weird because it had been about 6 hours at that point. So that was gross. Yeah, I just got drunk with my dad's dead body. And around 10 p.m. we figured okay, that's enough. Let's get him out of here. So we called the coroner and they show up. My family went upstairs and then my sister and I just kind of wanted to stand, I guess, on the lawn and watch him go out. And then my drunk neighbor Mike just kind of walked up and he was he's one of those guys with the big tummy that kind of sticks out. He's got the big beer gut and he's holding a beer and he just kind of comes up to me and puts his arm around my shoulder and he burps and goes, so that's it, huh? Yep. Is that your attempt at being profound? It was just such a weird, strange end to just this blur of a day that was so not the kind of dramatic, sentimental death that they have in the movies. It's such a funny story that I love and people are sort of weirded out that I'm so flippant about yeah, the day my dad died, but there's something so brilliantly unique about how colossally terrible it was at some moments. I think he probably would have enjoyed the story of it. It's too bad he wasn't around to hear the story.
Congratulations! You made it to the end! Welcome to the Wrap Party! Be sure to grab a snack and to like and subscribe to keep on top of all this very good content. I'm William Jordan. Until next time.